Thank you, Mr. Undersecretary, and thank you to all that are here, and thank you to those that came here in support of this issue. I'm State Senator Karen Spilka, and I follow my colleague, Senator Ken Donnelly, and support the letter that was sent to you, so I won't go into all of that. Hopefully you've read that. And clearly, I support programs and have supported the programs in the budget to help families find and sustain affordable, permanent housing. And I understand that that has been the thrust of the administration. And I think that that is not the problem here, that that should be the thrust and the focus. And we increased the funding for these programs in fiscal year 12 and fiscal year 13. I'm here to express my concerns about access to emergency shelter, and my recent experience tells me that the current system, unfortunately, is broken. When we have a family with no place to go, we must shelter them while we come up with that permanent solution. And that is the time period that is a problem here. Let me highlight it with an example that unfortunately happened with my office just this very week. A family came to my office on Monday in the State House. They had spent the previous night sleeping in the lobby of a Boston hospital. They walked to the State House looking for help. They realized at least to come here, which I give them a lot of credit. They happened to find the doorway that said, "Children and Families," outside the door. They saw the sign, so they went in and they asked for help. They had no place to stay, and they were not eligible for emergency shelter. Their last residence was Framingham, so the Children and Families Committee referred them to my office since I represent Framingham. The mother is 8 months pregnant. There's a father, there's a 5-year-old girl, and an 11-month-old boy. I ask you, what was that family supposed to do? What's that 11-month supposed to do? Where are they supposed to sleep? My staff called EOHED for help at 3:30 and called repeatedly throughout the evening. They stayed there late. We got a response after 8 o'clock in the evening confirming that the family was ineligible for EA shelter, and no help was offered. My staff worked with the family until places to sleep for that night had been secured, safe places had been secured. At 10 p.m., we contacted EOHED to tell them that we had solved the problem for the night. I ask you, what was my office supposed to do? We actually even considered, we discussed the option, believe it or not, of having them sleep in the State House, my State House office, so that they would have warmth and be secure, at least safe, and have either me or my staff sleep there that night. This family does present difficult issues, and I acknowledge that. They have broken the rules that we impose on those who we help. Moving this family to self-sufficiency will require many services, and I acknowledge that as well. But the bottom line, a 5-year-old girl and an 11-month-old baby boy simply cannot be sent out to sleep on the streets. These are our children. This was clearly an emergency, and the response was sorely lacking, unfortunately. So I ask, and I hope that at some point in the near future we do get an answer. What are you planning to do to fix this? Thank you very much.